Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The king of lightning, here today, bringing you guys and gals, Bleach! Tate Kubo's finest work. Yeah, chapter 671 review. Just going a wee little bit of baby face. Nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So, look, I'm butchering whatever accent I'm doing. It don't matter. So, before I get started with the chapter review, two things. Number one is live reaction for the chapter, which I already did. But I'll be uploading that live reaction to my King Lightning 2 channel, not this channel, tomorrow. That's number one. There'll be a link to that channel in the box below. Number two is that the King of Lightning Wade Wilson Deadpool had. Listen, the King of Lightning made just a wee little bit of a mistake in the last review / rant. And I understood the mistake I made after I was talking to Rick, Anime Rick, on PSN. So when I was talking to Rick while I was streaming some Dark Souls 3, we were talking about the latest chapter of Bleach at the time, last week. And he brought to my attention, for the most part, that there hasn't been any definitive statement that Hitsugaya himself made that alludes to him losing his powers once the timer hits 0. Now, I stated to Rick that at the very least, it was strongly implied. At the very least. Now, of course, not the same thing. So, an implication of something is not the same thing as it being definitively stated, obviously. So, what I did was that I went back into the story. I looked at the instances where his timer was discussed, whether it was by himself, whether it was by an opponent, whether it was by another captain, and I looked at where Hitsugaya may or may not have said that when the timer actually hits 0, he loses his powers. And it is deduced by other people, but it's not stated by him. So that's the most I get. So when I said in the last review, when the timer hits 0, his powers went poof, again, that's something that others have deduced for him, but he himself has never actually stated in the series itself. And I went back and I checked and I saw nothing. So that was my mistake, my fuck up. So despite the fact that I still have questions pertaining to this Bankai power, like for example, when fighting against Haribel, how come he didn't just spam fucking attacks to make the timer go away quicker, and then boom, he was in his new form and then he just kicked her ass? I mean, granted, I have questions about that. And then so, once again, I gotta thank Rick here, because Rick, he did make me go back to the story, reread the incidences, and I found nothing. Hitsugaya himself, when it comes to the timer, never directly stated that when it hits 0, his powers go poof. So, it wasn't a retcon. I was wrong on that. So now when it comes to chapter rating, I'm going to increase the chapter rating from a horrible plus to a subpar. It was a subpar chapter last week. Alright, so, moving on to this chapter of Bleach. And this chapter of Bleach, okay. Well, where did I get started? Alright, where did I get started? The ending was sick. The ending was fucking sick. It was disgusting in a good way. Yes, Byakuya bringing back the Senkai. Whoa, man. Just the sword surrounding Gerard. It was, and honestly, you can clearly see that compared to what he did against Ichigo, there are way more blades. It is ridiculous. I'm like, dude, what is... Oh, that shit threw me off for 15 loops and a half. Like the ultimate roller coaster. Senkei, Senbon, Sakura, Kagayoshi, and he does the Ogi. This dude, he's all stanced up and shit. He's doing something, right? He's stanced up. All the blades point towards Gerard's head, and they just fire. I mean, I was like, dude, what the fuck? It was nasty. Honest to God, it was nasty. The Ika Senjika, bruh. So Byakuya saw an opportunity. On this day, I see clearly, boom, hits him with an Ogi. So the next chapter, Gerard may be dead. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that one. Fact of the matter is that Byakuya, that ending I thought was a beast ending. Everything else, for the sake of story progression, is basically Hitsugaya fight against Gerard. In comes Kenpachi for a bit. You do have beforehand, at the beginning, Hitsugaya talking about his Zanpakuto power, and so on and so forth. The main thing here is the possible defeat of Gerard Valkyrie at the hands of Kenpachi, Hitsugaya, and the kill shot possibly being Byakuya. We'll see in the next chapter. Now, when it comes to the structure and pacing of the chapter, that was relatively fine. Nothing too special there. It's just another rotation of the opponents for Gerard, and then finally all three of them coming together in some way, shape, or form to best Gerard, maybe fully. So that's pacing overall, not really a big deal. And then finally, the characterization. Clearly, the lion's share goes to Hitsugaya. You have Kenpachi. He's no longer in that berserk state because you can see his eyes, like you can see the pupil there. I don't see any more horns, and his skin, I can't tell if it's crimson or not because it's a manga. But it looks like he has regained his sanity, and he's able to bring down Gerard. And so aside from that, that's really it when it comes to Kenpachi's characterization in the chapter. Then moving on to Hitsugaya. Hitsugaya, we get a lot from him. But there are a few things that I'm like, really? Really? So, number one, when it comes to why he's aged, not even he knows. That, I think, is a big thing. The fact that he just ages however many number of years, because again, he's a Shinigami. So Shinigami, they age differently compared to everybody else. But even still, given the methodology of how Shinigami age, he has no idea. He's no idea how he's even older. He just is. Okay. Random. But more so than the age, even though the age is a very important factor of the powers, it's also how powerful he is now. And what he says about his powers is, it's directly contradicted right after he says what he says about his powers. So, and I quote, by unleashing Daiguren Hyorimaru, in a matter of 4 seconds, I can freeze all matter before me, be it earth, wind, air, or fire. Had you succeeded in releasing that Quincy bow within 3 seconds, who knows, I might have been on the wrong end of your arrow. So he says this after he does the Shikai Hoketsu, as Gerard is standing there Quincy arrowed up. So, I mean, here's the thing. Freeze all matter within 4 seconds. And then literally a second after he freezes Gerard breaks through. No, I'm a disciple of God. Okay? I mean, listen. Is his freezing potency more powerful than Rukia, who can go absolute zero? I mean, he can freeze all matter. So, it's like the same thing, kind of. Right? Isn't it? Maybe? I mean, granted, there's always going to be some degree of energy there, but still, I mean, is that his way of saying absolute zero? By unleashing Daiguren Hyorimaru, in a matter of 4 seconds, I can freeze all matter before me. It's okay. You can freeze, but all matter. Freeze all matter. Absolute zero, or at least close to? I don't know. I'm not getting a direct temperature reading here from Hitsugaya, right? Granted, I can't take a thermometer and just start poking the screen. How cold is Hitsugaya's powers? We're not that far in technology just yet. No, we're not there yet. But the panel after he says all that shit, Gerard, boom, I don't give a fuck, disciple of God. And also there's this thing where he freezes the Hoffnun, and the Hoffnun's hope, the ability that the Hoffnun has, can't be used anymore because it was frozen. Once it's frozen, no matter the substance, all its functions will cease to activate. So by simply freezing something that substance has, ceases. So that is a component of his ice that is relatively new, I think. Wait, hold on, wait a second. No, I'm sorry, hold on. Okay. That's not necessarily new. That's ice in of itself, all right? If you freeze something, the activities, technically speaking, or hypothetically speaking, if you freeze it enough, all functionality cease. Okay, I understand that. So that would be absolute zero. So whatever happens to the Hoffnun also applied to Gerard when he froze Gerard. But when he froze Gerard, Gerard broke out of that shit anyway. I'm confused. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, in all honesty, even though I love the ending, once Hitsugaya froze Gerard completely over in those 4 seconds, the fight should have been over. If his powers are as true as they say he is, Gerard should have been done. So I'm really confused. I don't know. He could be bullshitting. All I can say, honestly, is that the ice is more potent. And on top of that, whatever he freezes its functionality cease, even if it's a unique power of some kind. But again, that is innate via ice itself. That is innate via cold itself. And like the lower you go temperature-wise, the functionalities of objects tend to cease. It is what it is. So maybe it is more or less that Hitsugaya, he has the ability just to like freeze things in general. Like he can freeze whatever it is. So when it comes to, for example, Gerard throwing the shield, not only was the shield frozen, but I guess the wind that was surrounding the shield was also frozen as well. That's why you see the shield as well as like the ice trail down across the panel. Because I guess he froze the wind that came along with the shield itself. So that actually more or less coincide with the second point, where which he can freeze all matter. But again, we run into the problem of once it's frozen, no matter the substance, all its functions will cease to activate. That is an extraordinary claim, and we are not seeing the extraordinary evidence for that extraordinary claim. That to me I think is very obvious, considering the fact that Gerard Valkyrie was able to break out of said ice. So Hitsugaya, he can freeze fire, he can freeze Reiatsu, he can freeze whatever it is, but when it comes to ceasing functionality, no. I'm not buying that for a heartbeat, dude. Not buying that for a heart. And actually, I have to wonder, how does he actually know this? Like, it's his Bankai state that he rarely went into, if ever. So, how do you know what you can do in this state? Like, he just knows. It's weird, man. It's very, very weird. But when it comes to everything else, once again, the fact that he himself, Hitsugaya, does not know why he ages, and whenever it's frozen ceases to function, and Gerard saying, fuck you, it's a massive contradiction, alright? It's a massive, just how Asnot was able to break out of the absolute zero of Rukia. It was kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Jesus Christ, oh god. Alright. The chapter overall, it was an okay plus to good chapter. Byakuya showing the refinement of his Bankai. That was, yes, that was good. I like that. So, I'm done. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace! Have a nice goddamned day.